Okay, hello, good evening, welcome everyone to this very special event to celebrate the release of Howlin Anton Bleak's debut album, Stranger Country. So I hope everyone can hear this, see this. I'll just explain kind of briefly how this is going to work throughout the evening. So obviously we had hoped to do a live event here in London with lots of fantastic live music, including Anton playing. That obviously hasn't turned out to be possible. So instead, what we're going to do is do this fantastic online event instead. There was no way anything like a global pandemic was going to stop us launching this amazing album properly. So that's exactly what we're going to do. My name's Andy, I'm your host. So throughout this evening, I'm going to be speaking to several of the musicians involved in making this amazing record. And I'm also going to be introducing to you live sets from several of the musicians who featured on the record. They're going to be performing from their own homes. And culminating all at about 10 o'clock this evening, UK time, with a performance from the man himself, Howlin Anton Bleak. So, the record is out today. If you haven't heard it already, do make sure you buy a copy after this event. It is a genuinely amazing record. It's kind of a country dark Americana record, but with a Siberian twist to it. And unwittingly, it does actually make a very suitable soundtrack for the apocalyptic times that we find ourselves in at the moment. So you're going to be hearing a lot about the record throughout the evening. Each of these Facebook Live broadcasts, obviously none of us are together right now, so I'm going to do my little bits from home here, and then when they're finished, I'll stop my live feed, and someone else will start one. So it should be fairly continuous live broadcast from everyone taking part throughout the evening. So as soon as one live feed stops, look for the next one in the event and join in. And we'd love to hear from you guys where you're watching this from, because one of the really great things actually of doing this online is people from all over the world who would love to support Anton and his music and see this can actually join us. And if we'd just done this in London, that wouldn't have been possible. So every cloud and all that. So I'm going to now try and speak to our first performer. So I need you guys listening at home to let me know if you can hear this. Do bear with us. We haven't really done this before in this kind of live online way. So some of the technology we're using perhaps isn't the most advanced. For example, for the guests, I've got my office phone on speakerphone behind me. So guests' voices will be magically appearing out of that. If you can't hear, just let us know and we'll try and think of something better. But right now, I'm going to welcome live in my living room, hopefully here on line one, we have AP Clarke.
Hello.
There is AP Clarke.
Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear AP Clarke? Drop us a comment, let us know. Hopefully you can. I'm going to talk to... We have a thumbs up spiraling up the screen, which I think hopefully means people can hear AP Clarke. Welcome to this very special evening to launch the Stranger Country album.
All right, well, thank you. And thank you for hosting. Fantastic. Yes, I'm going to be playing.
Excellent. So Andrew is going to be playing our first live set for us very shortly. Now, Andrew, you are, of course, a member of Bleak, Anton's main band. And
yeah.
You played on the Dig Two Graves album.
Yes, absolutely. I wrote and recorded, performed in Bleak for the Dig Two Graves album, yes.
And you've taken part quite extensively in the recording sessions for this Stranger Country album. I believe you've played on every single track on the album?
Absolutely, yeah. We had a core of Anton, tragically, and Daniel Lacey and me, and we just rehearsed the song over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because we knew that we were going to have to record, I don't know how you say, like in a cowboy-like fashion, but basically we ended up recording with Ays, who you'll turn up later, who is a god and a wonderful patient man. And we recorded like 90% of the album in one 4-hour session.
Wow.
Because that's kind of how they did it, you know, back in Alabama, where we were in the 30s. mean, I think the Beatles recorded their first album in 10 minutes.
So was that a particular choice to try and give the recording session some sort of authenticity, to do it all in one session like that?
The raw, white-knuckle desperation of necessity.
Okay.
Gives it an authenticity and a veracity.
Which I think was probably true of a lot of those older recordings that you mentioned as well. So, as well as playing with Anton, you are a solo musician in your own right, and you get up to all sorts of other projects, which are probably too numerous to mention in the short time we have here, but I can certainly try. So in the last year, for example, you have made a podcast called The Lost Cat and an album of a soundtrack for that, and you've even made a feature horror film which was screened in the cinema last September.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to keep busy. You've got to keep doing stuff. I have a podcast, which is The Lost Cat Podcast. You can just Google it. It's the first result. It's a quiet audio drama. It's sort of horror, but it's quite cuddly. So it's
cuddly horror.
It's slightly ASMR Lovecraft and cats. Go for it. It's free. Give it a listen. We made a film called Apocalypse of the Blood Freak, which me and my friends did because we were bored. It cost us £200. So the way I'm describing it is that it's got the highest ratio of good bits to pounds in all of cinema history. It is the most cost-effective film in the history of Hollywood. I think no one can ever take that away from you. I got my friends together for, whoever turned up to the writers' meeting were the writers. We wrote for a day. That was 90% of the script. And we started shooting 3 weeks later. The entire turnaround was about 5 months. It's just to prove that you can make stuff for nothing really quickly with just the stuff you have around you. I hope that, if you like horror movies, I hope that you watch it. I hope you enjoy it. But what I mostly hope is that it will inspire you to make stuff yourself, because yes, you can do it. I saw the premiere of the film last year in the cinema, and I can say it was a very enjoyable film. And it's available to watch now, I believe, on Amazon, is it? On YouTube. On YouTube, is it? It's free. Look at that. Free. Go for it. So, if you're at a loose end in lockdown, watch Apocalypse the Blood Freak on YouTube. And if you want to check out AP Clarke's music, you can do that. Best place on his Bandcamp page. Yep, you can AP Clarke, Bandcamp. Yep, that's me. So, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Andrew is now going to play a live set, so I'm going to end this live stream, and you guys need to join the next one that Andrew is going to start on this Facebook event very shortly. Thank you for being with us. So what I'll do is I'll start the live stream, and then we'll make sure that everyone can hear me and all the technical stuff is good. Give it enough time for whoever wants to turn up does turn up, and then we'll sort of start, and I'll play, 4 songs maximum so it doesn't get boring. That sounds good, right? Amazing. We'll stop this live stream now, so join the one that Andrew's about to start and enjoy his live set. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yay, thank you very much for texting. Do please tell me if things go wrong. But I'm going to, my name is AP Clarke. I helped record this album, the Stranger Country album for Anton, and I'm going to play some songs from my bedroom. So welcome to my bedroom, I guess. And I will play a few songs. And the first song I am going to play is a brand new song that I am premiering here right now. It's called Mary the Bone. It's all about a sort of a Victorian gangsteress who was famous for when she decided to stab someone, she always cut down to the bone. And I got the idea for the song from, in fact, playing with Anton and Ays at a pub in Marylebone last year. in November, which was literally 20 years ago. And I was just wandering around Marylebone and realised that it was spelt Mary Lebone, and that's how, in fact, people write songs. I'm sorry if anybody thought that there was something more romantic or inspired than that, but it's literally just going, oh, Marylebone is spelt Mary Lebone. Anyway, so I wrote this song. It's called Marylebone. I will now play it for you. I have not played it for anyone ever, so see how I do. The time of drawing pretty pictures on your skin. Wanna make you mark, you dig, you bleed all the way in. So run back, back, back into your pretty little home, or hear the tack, tack, tack of a stiletto on your backbone. There is a bomb. There is a bomb. Well, she wore big bustle dresses that hit 100 blades. She jangled when she walked so people knew to give away. Now every dress was as white as a bride can start a day. So come the night, just by sight you could see the price been paid, and she would rock up to the bar, oh dripping dark with glee. She said, the drinks are on the house, 'cause the blood is on me. Ow. Yeah, Mary Lebone. Mary Lebone. Mary Lebone. Oh well, one day in '88, she went down Whitechapel Way and painted the streets red with Jack the Ripper's blood, they say. And they say she keeps his knives on a secret shelf. Others say she hit the Ripper, murders herself. She said, these streets are mine and mine alone. You'll do just as I say. These streets go deep and narrow across the city like me and my blade. Well, a lover sold her out. She was sent to the tide. She stood so proud and shouted at the crowd from far and wide. She said, you crush us into meat between the workhouse and the streets. Don't none of your be surprised, you make our people like me. Then she cut the hangman's rope. Then she cut the hangman's throat. Then she cut. She cut a lover down to the bone. Yeah, Mary Lebone. Mary Lebone. Yeah, Mary Lebone. Thank you. I hope this is coming in clear. I hope that it is reasonably good quality, so you are good enough quality for release. You're able to enjoy your stream at home. Woo. I'm going to play a second song now. This is a song called Camden Town. This is a song about all musicians. It's about basically a young man. It doesn't have to be a man, but he is very stupid, so he's probably a man. He lives in some god-awful, terrible town just outside of London, buys a really bad guitar, learns 3 chords, and thinks that he will become a rock star. He comes to London. He goes into a pub in Camden, and he is never heard from again. And this is the story of all musicians. And I wrote a song about it, and it's called Camden Town, and it goes like this. If you have a drink, raise them, I will believe you. So, Oh, raise your glasses, hold them high. Tell your friends and don't you lie. 'Cause the cover said the bodies were never found when Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. Well, Johnny came to London from Colchester with a head full of noise and a shit guitar. But before it stops on the underground, Johnny came up at Camden Town. Johnny picked up a bunny band at the bar. Man came over looking at his guitar. But you've been had someone in his time with jet black lines around his eyes. He said, Johnny, do you know my name? Can give you riches, I can give you fame. But first we're gonna play this a little game. Line the glasses on the bar. Have another round of fun. Raise your glasses, hold them high. Tell your friends and don't you lie. The devil said the bodies were never found when Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. Well, 1, 2, 3, the glasses went down and nobody dared to make a sound. 4, 5, 6, the crowd started leaving. It's Johnny and the devil both started singing, and the devil said, who do you think you are? Another pretty boy with his shit guitar, and every last one of you leaves their bow, flowing it down in the car now. Johnny just laughed, he said, in my hometown there's nothing else to do but drink until you drown. The devil said, fine, his eyes were wide. Line the glasses on the bar, have another round, son. Raise your glasses, hold them high. Tell your friends and don't you lie. The devil said the bodies were never found when Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. Alright. Well, the devil slurred his words with a sibilant hiss, and Johnny lit a cigarette, but Johnny missed. And the word of the bar was split in two, but every time the devil drank it, Johnny drank too. The devil rose up, the devil rose high, said I could have made it if I tried. The devil waved the gun around as he sang. Johnny made a finger gun and Johnny said bang. No one had ever lasted this long. Johnny did clap at the devil's song. The devil said you'll never be more than you are. There's another old man sitting at the same bar. Well, Johnny said, devil, now you're here too. So I guess I'm the same as you. The devil cried out, the roof fell down. Johnny picked up 2 more glasses. Let's have one more round, son. Raise your glasses, hold them high. Tell your friends and don't you lie. The devil said the bodies were never found when Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. When Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. When Johnny met the devil in Camden Town. Thank you. I thank you for what I shall assume will be overwhelming applause coming from every part of the country and indeed internationally. Cool. Woo. Right. I'm going to play a song called Strange Weather, so I will play 2. Hold on, let's just see if I've got tips or anyone asking me to strip yet. No, everyone's been very respectful. I guess it's because it's early in the evening. I hope by the time that Anton comes on stage, you're just profoundly heckling him at all times. He likes that sort of thing. Please do it for him. I'm going to play a song called Worst Storms. Anton really likes it. At least he said he did the last time I played it. Written a very long time ago, but possibly relevant to today's situation. Let's give it a go. This is Worst Storms. windows and driving out of town. Find my love upon the ground. They're singing, why would I leave now? There ain't nowhere left to run, and it's only just begun. And the worst storm's yet to come. Bill warnings, haven't you heard about the water building up so long? The dam will never hold. If you got money, buy a boat, or else you best learn how to swim. There's soon there'll be no shore, so you can see how far you swum in the worst storms yet to come. Try and have some fun in the worst storms yet. Thank you. Keep what on? Right, oh, my clothes. Let's, so this will be my fourth song. Maybe that'll be it for me. I think that's enough for a set. And this is a song I wrote a very long time ago. Oh, my voice is all going funny. This is a song I wrote a very long time ago. It is called The Scene Is Dead. While it lasted, but it didn't work out. While it's the time, let's all get the hell out. Roll up the flags, throw it away. I never liked the anthem much anyway. Now you can tell the politicians they are no longer required. Round up the CEOs, have them on fire. Take the blindfold out the statue, cause you can't see. To be on the last screen, now you and me. No one much guns round here now. Kid don't like the business of anyhow. It seems like a good time, call it a take. This is no fun, she said. The scene is dead. Well, Susan said that everything dies as soon as it gets a name. And since They blasted up the bullet holes in the walls. This place hasn't been the same. She said, oh boys these days are queer and women I've seen colder. Maybe the revolution came in the night, or maybe we just got older. To all of the people that burned the flags and protest, I suggest you should have burned the poles instead. The scene is there. Well, Susie and Tom skipped town last month, but I thought I'd stay a while longer. Cruise round the places where I grew up, drinking whiskey or something stronger. And I thought there must be something very here to make all the bullshit worth it. But I've come to the conclusion that I don't like the people and I just don't like the music. So just accept that it's over. It ain't going any further. You can feel it in the air and in your head. This dream was a good dream, but now we've all woken up and next to the body in the stranger's bed. Oh, the scene is there. Oh, the scene is there. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for Anton for letting me play. I hope the rest of the night goes extraordinarily well, and I hope the album is extraordinarily well received. As grumpily cynical as your guitarist will be, I think that the album turned out much better than I thought it was going to turn out. The collaborators, the width and the breadth of collaborators is just it's really refreshing, and it's really nice, and it's really lovely to see people come together in order to make an album. So I'm very, very happy to have been a part of the process, and I hope the rest of the night goes really, really well. So thank you very much once again. My name is AP Clarke. You can find me online. You can search in my podcast at Lost Cat Podcasts or Bandcamp AP Clarke. Or if you want my film I made with my friends called Apocalypse of the Blood Freak. It's a horror movie, and you can find that on YouTube for free. All right, I'm going to sign off. No more shilling from me. Thank you very much, and good night.
So, welcome back to me in Southeast London, everyone. For those who haven't seen me yet, my name's Andy. I'm your host for this evening. So I'll be doing some linking bits in between all of our amazing performances, and also speaking to several of the incredible musicians who helped make Howlin Anton Bleak's Stranger Country record happen. So firstly, thank you very much to AP Clarke for that fantastic opening set of the evening. We all really enjoyed that. Welcome to all of you who are joining us from all over the world. Fantastic to have you with us. Do say hello on the comments. And as I've said before, this is kind of new to all of us, trying to do particularly an event like this in this way from all of our homes. So if you can't hear anything, or anything's not working, or anything we can do better, then do just let us know. Right now, I am joined by one of the guest musicians on the Stranger Country album, and this is someone he won't be playing for us this evening, but he is going to join us for a brief chat. So hello and welcome to Country Al.
Good evening, Andy. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Country Al is best known for performing with his lonesome guitar, but in this particular case, on the Stranger Country record, it was in fact your harmonica that was called on.
Yes, indeed. In recent years, I've sort of approached a level of competency on the thing, and people occasionally ask me to play along with them, and it's something I enjoy. So when Anton asked me to do this, I was only too happy to come along and play some harp for him.
So hopefully the presence of your harmonica makes your lonesome guitar a little less lonely these days.
Well, yes, I've got a lonesome keyboard and a lonesome ukulele, a whole family of instruments.
That's an entire lonesome orchestra you've got right there.
Nice.
Amazing. So you played on Stranger Country on the song London Waltz.
That's correct, yes.
So you've had a listen to the finished album, which is out today and available now via Screamlight Records on their Bandcamp page. And
indeed, I enjoyed it very much.
Excellent. And perhaps there's something of kindred spirits between you and what Anton's trying to do here. Country music is obviously a very American idiom, and you are, as your name Country Al would imply, a country musician who is not American. So I think much as you try and put some of your own English personality into what is a very American form of music, what Anton's tried to do with Stranger Country is give Americana and country kind of a Siberian twist. So how did you feel about that after listening to the record?
I thought it was very effective. Obviously, I was familiar with at least some of the work of Bleak, Anton's sort of main band, who are more of a sort of heavy metal blues thing. And as I understand it, the purpose of this album was for him to do much more of an acoustic, stripped-down thing. And also some of the songs, such as the opening song and Cowboy from Hell, and I think the penultimate song, were all quite sort of more up-tempo, major key things that even with loud distorted guitars probably would have sounded a bit out of place in Bleak. But I do like sort of high energy, major key, folk country type music. So I thought those songs, I suppose, were in a similar ballpark to what I do, and for me were the standout tracks on the album, and I thought sort of suited Anton's style as a musician while giving him a sort of chance to do something a bit different to what he's usually been doing.
Definitely, yeah. I think the songs you mentioned there, like Great Satan Rising, the opening track, and Yenisei, which is the second to last one, are real kind of rousing sing-along tracks that perhaps we're not used to from Bleak, who tend to have slightly more sort of downbeat and minor key material, so a really interesting departure for Anton. Al, thank you so much for joining us. Love the performance on the album, and just before you go, what's keeping you busy in lockdown at the moment?
At some point, not too distant future, a musical might rise out of the creative pits of somewhere called Murder, She Sang.
Absolutely, yes. We're working on that together. We wrote a musical called Rasputin Rocks together a few years ago, so we're working on this, so hopefully something will happen with that very soon when theatre happens again, so that'll be something to look forward to. And are you managing to keep busy with your country music as well?
Yeah, I've written some country Al songs, but also as part of the composing process for the musical, I bought a keyboard, so I've been very busy relearning the keyboard, and have been today beavering away on the second movement of Mozart's 16th Piano Sonata.
Well, that's possibly the most highbrow thing I've heard anyone say all day today, so congratulations on that. Al, thank you so much for joining us. Really good to have you with us.
Great.
And congratulations on your part on the record. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay, for an exciting bit of nail-biting live television, I am now going to try and dial our next guest live on air. So anything could happen now. I could get through to a Chinese restaurant. He might not answer. So enjoy this. Anything could go wrong. But right now, I'm going to dial the industrial music legend that is Ays Kura, who is hopefully on the end of this number. Fingers crossed, everyone.
Hello?
Hello, Ays.
Hi, Henry, how are you?
Ays, welcome. You are live on air at the special event to mark the launch of Howlin Anton Bleak's Stranger Country album. Very good to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Awesome. And congratulations to Howlin Anton Bleak for this release.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Anton. It is a wonderful, wonderful record, as I hope those of you who've heard it already will know. So, Ays, you were very heavily involved in the making of this record. You and Anton have a long history of working together, which goes back right to the early days of Die Kur. So, you were a very obvious choice to be a producer on this record. So you've both produced it, and you've also played a slightly unusual instrument that some of our listeners may not be familiar with. You contributed a bit of Theremin.
Yes, that's right.
Which probably isn't an instrument you'd necessarily expect to hear on a country record.
Yeah, when Anton told me that he wanted to have a Theremin part in his own album, I was kind of honored, and at the same time I was curious to see how the result would turn out. But after once he let me listen to the song, I was sure that he had a right vision for that.
Definitely. So the Theremin is on the song Become the Sun, and I think it lends a really nice eerie tone to the music. For those who haven't come across a Theremin before, it's, I don't know how best to describe this, it's kind of an aerial electronic instrument that makes this sort of eerie whining noise. Is that a good way of describing it? Yeah,
it's the very first synthesizer ever made, apparently. And it's the only instrument that you play without touching it, basically.
So that's right, you play it just by sort of waving your hands around it, and that alters the frequency.
Yes.
So I think it works really well on this song. It gives it a fantastically eerie atmosphere that works so well for the material. How did you find working on this record with Anton? It sounds like most of the recording was done within a very short space of time. Was that a challenge compared to how you usually work?
To be fair, no, that was not the main issue, was not the timing, because to be fair, we didn't have a fixed release date, so we were ready for be able to take the time that he needed. But it was, okay, when Anton approached me, asked me to produce his own album, I was very thrilled and curious to see how we would want to express his own solo project. I'm very familiar with Anton's work, of course, with Bleak and everything else he did, but at the same time it was very interesting for me to see which direction he wanted to push his own music in this stage, in this moment in his life. And I was blown away by the early demos, and for me the most challenging thing was to try to recreate this energy, this atmosphere that he wanted to express as quickly and as energetic as possible to do. Yeah.
Now, Ays, as I'm sure all of you listening know, is both the frontman of the band Die Kur and an absolutely key figure in the London alternative music scene. So obviously this is a very, very frustrating time for music. Are you managing to keep busy with Die Kur or with any sort of musical things at the moment?
Okay, basically, no. To be fair, yeah, it's very hard because with Die Kur, it's like we have to stop all the touring. We were doing all the gigs. We had to cancel around 15 gigs, including some very nice festivals and abroad and so on. So it's like it was very hard, but it's not only for me because we can't meet up and so on, but it's also this moment is very hard for all the industry in general because there are a lot of venues and events that are really suffering because of this situation. But I guess it's something we need to deal with and adapt, and looking forward to when it starts again to do better. And
definitely, and hopefully it won't be too long before that happens, but in the meantime it's not the same, but it's great that we can come together and do things like this to keep live music happening.
The internet at least is giving some sort of gathering place, or at least some reference, but I really miss the live experience, the going out and meet up people, and but this is slowly will come anyway.
Definitely, hopefully soon it'll be back. Well, Ays, thank you so much for joining us for this chat, and I'm going to sign off with this live stream now, and we're going to go over live to Ays, who's going to play our next live set for us.
Yes, I will go now live. Okay.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to Howlin Anton Bleak for the album Stranger Country. It's been an honor to be part of this amazing release, and all the best. Keep on supporting live music.
So, welcome back. Thank you very much to Ays Kura for an absolutely epic performance there. Really enjoyed that. So we're getting some fantastic live music this evening, which was all in honour of the release of Howlin Anton Bleak's debut solo album, Stranger Country, which is out today on Screamlight Records. So very pleased to be joined by our next guest, who is another contributor to the record, who is going to be playing for us shortly. We have on the line Takatsuna Mukai. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, good to have you with us.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah.
So, Takatsuna, for those who've not come across him before, he's a very talented multi-instrumentalist, done a lot of film composing, and also plays with the band Die Kur, who we spoke to before, is the frontman of. So, Taka, you contributed to this album, Stranger Country, on the instrument of violin, which I think is one of your favourite instruments.
Yeah, I did, but only really briefly, unfortunately, on one song, Land of Snow, I think is the song.
So that's right, so it's a song called In the Land of Snow, so there's just a very brief violin solo from you there, but I think adds a real nice bit of texture, and an instrument like a violin, I think, gives this kind of music a very authentic country feel, so it was really nice to include that instrument in this record. Was it a good experience to take part in the recording of the album?
Yeah, it was, but it was quite challenging because I don't really, I'm not so familiar with this style of country playing. So, it took me quite a while to actually get myself used to the spirit of it, and then I went in recording it. And but I think, it came out quite well, so I'm happy with it.
Definitely, it came out very well. So, if you weren't very familiar with country music, how did you go about preparing? Did you listen to lots of country music, or just
I'm not familiar, in playing.
okay.
I'm familiar listening to it, but I don't really play in that style mostly, so
It was an interesting challenge to try and play in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So, obviously there's not a huge amount going on at the moment with The Way of the World, but have you got much going on in terms of music at the moment? Have you got something keeping you busy?
By using this bit of a lockdown situation, I'm starting a new music project with somebody, and because we have plenty of time, so it's actually, in a way, it's a good thing, because I can spend a really lot of time trying different ideas and recording things. One thing we can't do is get together and play together or record together, but thanks to the internet and the emails and everything, somehow I'm managing it. And once the lockdown is lifted, I am still continuing to be the kind of semi-full-time member of the KtoK, so that's going to come back into my life as well,
And I think that's something for creative projects. The one thing none of us can say right now is that we don't have time to do anything, so all of those creative projects that have been kind of one day when I've got the time, now is that time, and it's very exciting to be able to get on with those. That's great that you've been able to do that.
I believe so. This is, we can't really change the reality, so, we have to see it in a positive way, and this is a blessing, really, so,
Definitely, I think we've just got to make the best of what's happening. So you've got a live performance coming up for us in just a minute.
Okay.
What can we expect from that?
I'm just going to play some improvisations in different instruments for about maybe 20 minutes or so. Just one thing, because of the Facebook audio limitation, some of my instruments come from one side of the speaker stronger and the other one the other side. So if you can listen to it in mono, please do so. If not, it doesn't matter too much, but that might happen. So otherwise, I'm ready.
Excellent. So yes, listeners, if there is an option to set it to listening in mono, you'll get a much better listening experience. So see if you can figure that out if you can. If anyone knows how to do that, please do post a comment. But I'm going to sign off from this video now and hand over to Takatsuna Mukai, who's going to perform a live set.
Like a minute or so. Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Thanks for joining me.
Bye.
Okay, good. So, I shall start. It's going to be around 20 minutes of just improvised piece. So, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, welcome back. We are enjoying an evening of fantastic live music to celebrate the release of Howlin Anton Bleak's debut solo album, Stranger Country. So we just heard an absolutely epic improvised set from Takatsuna Mukai, going around all the instruments. There was some piano, guitar, violin in there with just total improvisation for about 20 minutes. That was so impressive. So thank you very much to him for playing for us this evening. We've also had fantastic performances from Ays Kura and AP Clarke. Still to come, we've got the amazing Hana Piranha and, of course, Anton himself, who's going to be treating us to some songs from the new record, Stranger Country. We have a very special guest on the phone now, who is one of the founding members of Bleak. Welcome to Rachael Woodworth.
Hello. Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. So you are somewhere in the Wirral, I believe?
Yeah, that's right. Back up north.
Excellent. So thanks so much for joining us. So Rachael has been the bass guitarist in Bleak since their foundation, what, about 12 or 13 years ago now?
Oh, must be that, yeah. Must be.
So you last released the Dig Two Graves album back in 2016, and are Bleak kind of on hiatus at the moment? Or?
A little bit, yeah. Life has somewhat got in the way, so I've got two preschool age kids, which are keeping me rather busy, and the geography is not great either, but life comes in phases, and I think this is probably a pause. And I'm hopeful we can get back to doing the music we all adore at some point in the not too distant future.
But it was fantastic that you were able to get involved with Anton's solo record. So you took part in a song which is, in fact, the only cover on the record.
That's right. Yeah. No, I was really honoured, obviously, to be asked by Anton to contribute, and I feel a bit of a con artist, really. I feel like I've pitched in some vocals, and everyone else has done all the hard work in curating the album, and obviously all the work with mixing and mastering, all that kind of good stuff that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of work there. So massive appreciation to everyone who allowed me to contribute. It's a great track. It's not one I'd actually heard of before until Anton introduced me to it, but a really, really good fun one to sing, I think. And a nice tale to the story.
So for those who've not heard the record yet, it's a song called Lost Highway, which is kind of a country standard, probably best known for the version performed by Hank Williams. It's one that a lot of the old country singers sung, but Anton's given it his own kind of unique twist, and I think with your vocals it gives a nice sort of reference point for Bleak fans to enjoy.
I hope so. I certainly enjoyed making it.
So, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and be a part of the celebration this evening, and we look forward to hearing more from Bleak one day.
Indeed. Thank you for inviting me, and thanks for putting together this lovely evening. It's really nice to not see people, but see people.
Absolutely. Even get to virtually see people and enjoy some live music, I think, is really important right now.
And celebrate the awesome album, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. And we are now going to attempt the magic of live television once again with some live dialing while we're on air. So this time we are going to attempt to get through to the fantastic Hana Piranha, who is going to be playing for us in just a bit, but we're going to have a chat to her. So I'm going to dial her live now and hope that she answers. So, fingers crossed, everyone.
Hi, Andy.
Hello, Hannah. Welcome. I'm very well, thank you. You are live on air on this special celebration for the launch of Howlin Anton Bleak's debut solo album, Stranger Country. So, welcome.
Brilliant, thank you. Hey, everyone. It's sad that we can't do this in real life, but it's nice to be here nonetheless.
Absolutely. We were all really looking forward to the live launch event in London, but I think this is certainly the best we can do right now, and it's great so many people have been able to join in, and indeed from all over the world. So
yes, I guess that's one silver lining.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is by plane flights and everything.
So Hannah, you're much like many of our other guests, very much a multi-instrumentalist. You play with your own band and Bird Eats Baby. But on this particular record, you contributed some harp playing?
That's right, yes.
So that was, I believe, on the song Cowboy from Hell.
Cowboy from Hell, that's right.
Which, just to be clear for any metal fans, is not a Pantera cover. It is an original country work by Howlin Anton Bleak. So the harp's an instrument you took up probably a couple of years ago, was it?
Yeah, about 2.5 years ago, I think.
And it's an instrument you've very much taken to since then, and in fact you released your first entirely harp-based record earlier this year, so do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, my harp record is called Wednesday's Child, and it follows the story of a cursed fairy tale princess and her quest to find love. So it's a gothic fairy tale, children's fairy tale for adults.
So that is a fantastic record. We've had Hannah on our Kilburn to Kensal radio show playing some tracks from it and really enjoyed it. So definitely do go and check that out. It's a wonderful record. Are you managing to get up to any musical endeavours during the lockdown at the moment?
I'm trying to use it as a period of practice and sharpening the saw.
I think that's definitely the best thing to do. So Hannah, you've got a live performance coming up for us now. What are you going to be doing for us?
So I've been playing a few tracks from Wednesday's Child and one or two other songs, maybe a cover.
Excellent. So I'm going to sign off from this live video now and hand you over to Hana Piranha, who's going to be doing a live stream of her performance. So enjoy, everyone.
I'm just clicking live now, so let me know if there's any problems.
Excellent. Thanks, Hannah.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Hana Piranha, and it's really great to be with you all here tonight virtually. I featured on Anton's album on the track Cowboy from Hell, so check that out. I did a few heart parts. This first song I'm going to play is called Naked Flame. My band Hana Piranha are quite a heavy rock band, and that's how Anton and I met. We were sharing stage together at the 12 Bar. And on our third album, we released this track. So this is a stripped down acoustic version. You know I see right through you, though I am afraid to call you out. But if I hold on to you, I'll only hurt myself. You know I'm scared to lose you, though I'm less hopeful every day. But I feel closer to you every time you push away. But you're an naked flame, you won't burn me again. And yeah, I must be insane to love you. And when I build you up, it's like I'm speaking in tongues. I know I can't be the one, but I love you. You know that if I leave you, I'll just come crawling back for more. You know that I'll believe you. Close my eyes to all your flaws. You know the more I need you, the more you see me as a fool. But still I'll always treat you like you're on a pedestal. But you're a naked flame, you won't burn me again. And yeah, I must be insane to love you. And when I build you up, it's like I'm speaking in tongues. I know I can't be the one, but I love you. You're a naked flame, you'll only burn me again. And yeah, I must be insane to love you. And when I build you up, it's like I'm speaking in tongues. I know I can't be the one, but I love you. So I hope everyone can hear me all right. I'm going to play a few tracks from Wednesday's Child now. This first one is the last track. It's called Soliloquy. Behold a mountain of treasure, and call it my throne. But there will never be pleasure in hearts made of stone. This kingdom looks so divine from the road, but from the moment I made it my own, all of the gold you can measure to the soul. When you have won all your battles, well, what now is there to do? When everything that once mattered no more of value to you, destroying everything only to learn that just to love and be loved in return. That is the answer, but I will never know. The words I say, soliloquy. My echo waves like gravity, destroying everything only to learn that just to love and be loved in return. That is the answer, but I will never know. From a distance, this nothing looks so beautiful. Oh, I would have done anything at all. And now the stage that I'm calling my own, so majestic, but I'm so low. Love is the answer, but I will never know. The words I say, soliloquy. My echo waves like gravity, destroying everything only to learn that just to love and be loved in return. That is the answer, but I will never know. So, as I said, Anton and I met when we were playing a gig together at the sadly now no longer 12 Bar Club in Soho. And I think one of the things we share in common is a love for all the all things dark and morbid. And that's what I love about his album. I also love Americana and country music, and combining the two is something I can completely get on board with. This is the song that inspired my album Wednesday's Child, and it's about rescuing your lover from the underworld. It's called Eurydice. See your body shaking, lie beside you, watch the hell inside you. I can see the way you're aching, the kind of hurt that tries to tear a heart in two. I can see your demons praying, I can see the way they move inside you. But it won't shake me, yeah, I'm staying. We'll lie in the dark together if I can't bring the light to you. And if you go, if you leave me, then I'll go where you lead me. If you go, you're a ditch. I won't look back, I won't look back till you're home. I can see the pain you're facing, like a mirror shining back upon me. But if you have to bound, then I'll be waiting with your body in my arms until you feel some relief. And if you go, if you leave me, then I'll go where you lead me. If you go, you're a ditch. I won't look back, I won't look back. If you go, then you leave me, because I know that you need me. If you go, you're a ditch. I won't look back, I won't look back till you're home. Oh, till you're home. This is my last song, and it's a cover, which seems pretty fitting for this event. It's by Lana Del Rey, and to me, it sums up the darker side of America. It's called Heroin. Thanks very much for listening. Everyone's been great so far, and I'm really looking forward to your set, Anton. Thanks for having me. I've been Hana Piranha. Angus hot tonight, the city by the bay. There's movie stars and liquor stores and self-decay. crumbling from distant shores, sends me to sleep. But the facts of life can sometimes make it hard to dream. Life rocked me like Molly, grabbed me by the ribbons in my hair. Life rocked me all just softly, like the heavy metal that you wear. I'm flying to the moon again, dreaming about heroin, how it gave you everything and took your life away. Put you on an airplane, destined for a foreign land. I hope that you'll come back one day, tell me everything is okay. Japan is hot today, mountains in the air, and all my friends are gone, 'cause they still feel them here. I wanna leave, I guess I'll stay another year. It's hard to leave when absolutely nothing's clear. Life rocked me like Molly, bad beginning to my new year. Life rocked me all just softly, like the heavy metal that you wear. Flying to the moon again, dreaming about heroin, how it gave you everything and took your life away. I put you on the airplane, destined for a foreign land. I thought that you'd come back again, tell me everything is okay. It's getting hot, hot, something about the city. Don't know what it is, and yet these kids get crazy. It's hot, feel the fire wearing something that that's telling me these kids get scary like, writing blood on the walls and shit, like, oh my god, jumping off from the walls into the docks and shit, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't sick of it. Baby, come on, come on. I'm flying to the moon again, dreaming about marzipan, taking all my medicine to take my thoughts away. I'm getting on that airplane, leaving my old man again. I hope that I'll come back one day to tell you that I've really changed. It's getting hot, hot. Something about the city, something about the city makes my head get crazy like, makes me feel like I can change. doesn't seem to live. Thanks very much, everyone. I've been.
So, welcome back, and thank you very much to the amazing Hana Piranha for that live set we just enjoyed there. It's been such a great evening of live music, but it's not quite over yet. Remember, we are here to celebrate the debut solo album by Howlin Anton Bleak. It's called Stranger Country, and I'm joined right now by Howlin Anton Bleak himself. Welcome.
Hello, Andy.
So, Anton, good to have you with us. Firstly, congratulations on the album. It's an amazing record. Really enjoyed listening to it.
Well, thank you so much, but as we have seen very demonstrably seen this evening, very little of it is down to me. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think it's a very good piece of art, largely thanks to the contributions of the incredible musicians, some of whom we were very fortunate to hear tonight, and some of whom could not be with us tonight, but nonetheless, it's 99% down to those people.
And there are a couple of other contributors on the album that we haven't spoken to this evening, who we should probably mention as well.
Well, that's right. I'm very sad that Ben Roundtree couldn't join us. Much like Hana, who mentioned how we met at the 12 bar about 8 years ago when Bleak were playing and Hana Piranha was playing, and I was blown away by her there and then, and sort of have been in awe of her art since. Similarly, there was a great band called the Midnight Bombers, then I called O'Malley, and frontman Ben Roundtree also blew me away when I first saw them playing with us at the 12 bar. And I was, him and Hana, I always say, they're the two musicians in London. I like to think that I'm not a bad frontman, I'm good live, and I say that those two are the only two people I feel genuinely threatened by. So Ben Roundtree performs piano on a song called 23rd Floor. Do give it a listen. I think he makes it very wonderful. And we haven't really talked about the band. We did mention that Andrew Clarke, Clarke, who performed a wonderful set earlier today, was part of the main band. The other half of it, of course, is Jim Lacey, with whom I used to play in Snowboard many years ago. Some people might remember that band. And I am very grateful to both A.B. Clarke and to Jim Lacey for essentially turning very simple ideas that I had into complete pieces.
And we should also give a mention to Nick McBrain, who plays Stompbox on both Great Satan Rising and Yenisei.
So Nick is the drummer in Die Kur. He's an absolute drum prodigy. I've seen some very talented drummers, and this guy is like a hurricane. It's amazing to watch him perform live. He plays with Die Kur, which are a great band, and he, even though he can play, any number of huge, complicated drum kits, we've got him playing the Stompbox on the songs Great Satan Rising and Yenisei. And it's a very simple instrument. He also plays a bit of snare on Yenisei, but with the Stompbox, it's a very simple instrument. It's literally just the movement of a foot, and yet he somehow, with just this one sound, this one motion, completely manages to transform both of those songs. So I'm incredibly grateful to Nick for changing the dynamics of those two songs. And I think those are the two songs that Country Al mentioned as the sort of up-tempo country folk songs, which he particularly enjoyed on this record. I'd also like to thank a couple of other people without whom this record would not be possible. Chris Bowen from Scream Life Records, who has very kindly released this album. They also released the previous Bleak album, Dig to Graves, and his wonderful and will be no record. Ays he produced it, he recorded it, he got amazing takes out of all of us. Obviously, he contributed as a performer as well. My huge thanks to other guests, to Hana, to Ben Roundtree, to Rachael, to Country Owl, to Takatsuna for their contributions. They completely transformed the songs that they were guesting on. But also, thank you so much to you, Andy. Thank you for your friendship and for your love and for your encouragement over the years. And I think much like Ays, you and Ays, whenever I've had, low moments, dark moments, and was close to giving up and stopping being creative, you and Ays have, on all of those occasions, given me a kick up the ass and made me create, made me make art, and I'm so grateful to you both for that. And I'd also like to mention our videographer, Nigel Donrush, who has made a number of videos for Bleak, and I understand he's working on the video for one of the songs from this album. And one more person, our dear friend Tom Godber, who took what I hope will become an iconic cover image, the front cover of this album, which was actually taken at the actual Red House in Clarkedale, Mississippi, and you were there as well.
Indeed, yes. We were on a road trip with our respective wives and friends, and yeah, that was just outside Clarksdale, where the crossroads where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil was.
It's debatable whether he did sell his soul to the devil or merely...
Or just bought some fried chicken, which was the main attraction at that crossroads.
But some of those events from that road trip, you might hear on the album, you might hear subtle references, how I like to slip in subtle references to places and to dates into my lyrics.
Yenisei definitely mentions riding the Harley through New Orleans.
You might recognize some of those references.
I certainly did. Well, look, Anton, I know it's been disappointing to not have quite the live launch event that we'd hoped for, but I hope you've enjoyed what we've been able to do this evening to celebrate the album's release.
I think it's been wonderful. Again, thank you to everybody for coming together in these strange and possibly frightening times, and for the amazing performances. Again, Andy, thank you to you for holding it together. And we worked quite hard to try and find the most appropriate technological solution as well, with Ays and with Clarke and with Takatsuna. So yes, thank you everybody, and thank you everybody for actually taking the time to tune in and to listen and to watch the sets. I hope it's not too disappointing. It is wonderful we are able to have friends roam all around the world. I know we've got friends from the US, I know we've got friends from the Netherlands listening right now. So yes, it's both a disappointing and a strange thing, but with everything, I think art and love finds a way.
And on that note, I'd just like to say thank you so much to everyone who's taken part and done interviews this evening. That's all from me. So all we've got left this evening is very much the highlight of the evening, which is going to be Anton playing some live songs from the record Stranger Country. So that live stream will be starting in just 1 second. But thank you all so much for being here. Really hope you've had a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all soon. So I'm going to stop now.
Thank you.
Tune right in.
When the seas, they boil up and bubble. when earth is shaking and erupting, when charity and power corrupting, when the arm is marching on the double, that is when we learn to see. I think too late for me and thee. I guess too late for me and thee. Oh, we'll see great Satan rising. When the iron birds are flying low, when the eagle roosting with the bear, you're gonna pay for water and for air. All the saints are marching to that row. That is when we learn to see. I think too late for me and thee. I guess too late for me and thee. Oh, we'll see great Satan rising. And the choir sings hallelujah. And the wind it howls merry. And the truth is good enough to fool you. Every miracle is temporary. When there is a marked man in the dome, when there is a white man in the red house, when there is a black man in the White House, when the father calls his children home. Yes, that is when we learn to see. I think too late for me and thee. I guess too late for me and thee. We'll see great Satan rising. Then the choir sings hallelujah. And the wind it howls merry. And the truth is good enough to fool you. And every miracle is temporary. Some of us will wail and gnash our teeth. Some of us will bow down to this demon. Some of us we won't even see him. Some of us die standing, some will fall to our knees. That is the way we learn to see. I think too late for me and thee. I guess too late for me and thee. We'll see great Satan rising. And the choir screams hallelujah. And the choir screams hallelujah. And the choir screams hallelujah. Good evening, dear friends. That was Great Satan Rising, opening track on the album. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to make the connection. I know it's very strange doing it this way, but I'm very glad that so many more of you were able to join us from all around the world. Thank you. This is Cowboy from Hell, and this is not a Pantera cover. It's time to go. Your friends, they're drunk, they're bored. It's closing time, you're alone, and the last drink's been poured. The barman's annoyed, you should go, he's ringing the bell. Out from the corner of your eye, you see the cowboy from hell. You're tired, you're sad, but you're just too wired to sleep. You're too dry to cry, too anxious for counting sheep. Your old childhood bedroom feels like a death row cell. When out from the corner of your eye you see the cowboy from hell. what you wanted, you never wanted the truth. That was 10 years ago, you were wasted on you. Turns out the cliches were wrong and the time couldn't tell. And now when you close your eyes, you see the cowboy from hell. Thank you. So, I'm not going to play the whole album. That would be pointless. Those were the first 2 tracks from the album. But the album is out on Bandcamp. It's out on Spotify. We'll post a link in this event. I'm sure some of you have heard some of it already. One thing I will say is that, as I was saying earlier to Andy when we were speaking, when I was on the phone to him, thank you so much to the people to the collaborators, to the artists who also performed on this album, because what you are hearing now is really those original ideas that I had on the acoustic guitar, which were completely transformed when we came to record them, thanks to those wonderful contributions. But as you're hearing it now, you may be getting an insight into how these songs were formed and put together. This song is called In the Land of Snow. She tells me that she wants to have a baby. She tells me of the man who done her wrong. She tells me it was fun back when I was the one, but that was so long ago and she was wrong. In the land of snow, we will never know how these 10 cold years pass like a dream. Come and go, feelings change and grow. 10 лет спустя я не один. She talks to me of justice and of mercy. She offers me advice when I have none. She talks about my fights and wonders if I'm right, but all I think about is what I've done. In the land of snow, we will never know how these 10 cold years passed like a dream. People change and grow, feelings come and go. 10 лет спустя я не один. I try not to get angry or resentful when I get news that she had been through hell. She's big enough, she's old enough, and the Lord knows beautiful enough to take enough good care of herself. In the land of snow, we will never know. 10 лет прошли как сон. Feelings change and grow. People come and go. It's been 10 years and I am not alone. And those friends who might remember the previous Bleak record, Dig 2 Graves, they might remember a song on there called Drinking Song. So logically, this song is a sequel to that song. It's the same 2 characters, but maybe 5 or 10 years later, and things have changed. So it was called In the Land of Snow, and that was the song that Takatsuna contributed violin on the record. So do check out the recorded version, because Takatsuna's violin work on there is incredible, and you saw what a musician he is from his set earlier. All right. So this is a song. Most songs on this album are connected with a journey and with people I've met, whether real or imaginary. This is the first time I've written completely on my own. Usually in Bleak I write with Yvonne Akodova and with Rachael Woodworth, and they are both incredible songwriters. And the work comes out very differently. So here I've really had to find ways to make the stories interesting, compelling, because I think that's the one thing that makes music makes people want to continue to listen to the music or to an artist. If it's compelling, they want to know what happens next. So this is called Yenisei, which is a great river in Siberia, and it's partly based on the true story of me and my father. And I think about 10, and the USSR was collapsing, and we went on this boat trip, and he sat me down and he told me that when we came back nothing would be the same. And it turned out he was right. If you know this one, we played live a few times. I know I can't see you, but you can see me. I want you to clap along. I want you to sing "Hey, hey, hey, hey" on the choruses, alright? I remember being 10 as the boat sailed north. My father sat me down and told me how it was. He said the world is changing, son. Things won't be the same. The USSR has had its day, and Russia's on its way. And you'll never be a man, my son, until you walk the plank. And you've wrestled bears drunk, and you've burned inside a tank. And we will never sober up, and we will never be okay. But we don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. And so I went around the world and saw what it was to see. I sang the blues on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. Saw the Crossroads and Clarksdale, but no Morning Star. And rode through New Orleans on a Harley on Mardi Gras. Rode water on an island, frozen the Yangtze, all the Ganges, the Euphrates, and the River Missouri. You know they all have their charms, and they flow far and wide. But the home at the Yenisei is where my heart resides. Hey, 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 hey. I don't need the Mississippi, I've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. I don't need the Mississippi, I got it. And now I'm 40, and my dad is 65, and we made it out of the 90s, yes, we made it out alive. And now I ride a massive cruiser, and I got a rocking band. I got a girl who loves me and who's great at giving head. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Yenisei. Hey, 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 hey. We don't need the Mississippi, we've got the Thank you. This is a real Stetson hat made by, you can see the label, made by the John Stetson company, which I bought in Nashville. Alright guys, we're nearly there, so this next one is the concluding song on the album, and it's a song which I wrote, I came up with the idea in my head during a long road trip which I took on my motorbike around Europe a couple of years ago. And this was in San Sebastian, which is, as some of you know, is a place very special to me, because a couple of very major life events happened there in the Basque Country. And I've been on the road for a few weeks, and I hit a real low point, and I was missing someone. I was missing home. And as I was rolling out of San Sebastian, I still had about 1,000 miles to go. This idea came to me, and I turned it into a song. And deliberately, this is one of 2 songs on the album which doesn't have any special guests in it. It's just me and Andrew and Jim. And it's called, figure out who it's about. It's called My Precious Lily. I've been on the road. I've been on the road so long. Asking impossible questions like who am I and where do I belong? I think it's time. It's high time I headed home. Home sweet home. Yes, home, home to my precious Lily. She makes any swamp feel like the Garden of Eden. And on the longest, coldest, darkest of nights, with her it's still worth living. She makes any throwaway word sound like the warmest of greetings. Oh yeah, she does. She makes my world go round, so she does. My precious Lily. This city's blur. One blends into another. There are 1,000 miles left to roll, but maybe a little further. And for this emptiness, no, 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 there ain't no cure. Other than to get home, sweet home, yes, home, home to my precious Lily. All right. Do you know anybody called Lily? So I'm gonna play a couple more songs, but that's everything I'm going to play from the album. Once again, huge thanks to Ays, to Jim, and to AP Clarke, and to Nick, and to Hana, and to Rach, and to Ben, and to Takatsuna, and to Country Owl for all the work on the album, and thank you to Chris from Screenlight Records, and to Andy, and to Nigel, and to Tom for everything that they've done to keep me moving in this direction. This one's for Ays. It's an old Bleak song. Well, it's for everyone, but it's especially for Ays. Sing along if you recognize it. Oh, and pour yourself a drink. Try to match every drink that's mentioned here. Red wine reminds me of Paris, and slings remind me of Singapore, and gin reminds me of Nairobi, but absinthe reminds me of you. So won't you pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. Yes, please pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. And coffee reminds me of Manhattan and of Brooklyn, and brandy reminds me of Toulouse, and whiskey reminds me of Dublin on New Year's Day, but absinthe reminds me of you. So won't you pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. Yes, please pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. And Baltica reminds me of Kaliningrad, and Jägermeister reminds me of being 22. And vodka reminds me of all my sisters and brothers all over the world, but absinthe reminds me of you. Watching the sugar bubble over the flame, as old as the memory, as my new favorite thing. 2 years ago, and nothing would ever be the same. But here I am, back at the start, with broken wings. So won't you pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. Yes, please pour me a glass, sing me a song as sweet as your tongue, 'cause I'm a stranger, but with you I used to belong. Thank you. I've got one more song which I've planned. one of the things that we couldn't do, because this was a live event, this was meant to be a live event, we couldn't have DJ Ostfrau, the amazing DJ Ostfrau, DJing before and after. So she has curated an absolutely wonderful, spot-on playlist, which is posted in the Facebook event, and I know some of you were playing it before we started. So I'd really encourage you to, when we're done, to go back and put that playlist on and carry on with the evening, carry on with the vibe of this wonderful evening that we somehow, against the pandemic and against the world going to hell, we still somehow managed to have together. Played you some half the album. I encourage you to download it and to listen to it if you can. It's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp, it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's on Juno download. Yeah, Spotify is good. Bandcamp is best for us. A few weeks ago, I did a little live set, Facebook live set for VE Day, and I played three war songs from the Allies. I played a war song from an old Soviet war song, and then I played an American war song by Woody Guthrie, and then I played a British war song called We'll Meet Again. Haven't said very much about this publicly, but a few weeks ago we also lost our beloved dog, Alfie, and I miss him very much. And I was when we planned this, I was really, first we had to arrange for a dog sitter, and then when the pandemic happened, I thought he might be here in this living room with me. Thankfully, he was mostly deaf, so the music wouldn't have bothered him too much. But I am going to play this, and I'd like to dedicate this to Alfie, but also to all of you. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening, and we will see each other again. Let's see how it goes. We'll meet again. I don't know where, and I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies deride the dark clouds far away. And will you please say hello to all the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing a song. That's right, we'll meet again. I don't know where and I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. As you always do, till the blue skies deride the dark clouds far away. And will you please say hello to all the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing that song, because I know that we'll meet again. I don't know when, but I don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for being here with us this evening. I hope you enjoy the album. I hope you enjoy the rest of DJ Ostfrau's playlist, and we will meet again. Thank you. I love you.